Hi there and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole and today we'll be previewing this coming Friday's meeting here from Fanny Bay, which will be the 9th of February. This is the first of 6 Friday meetings to be run in Darwin during February, March and April, due mainly to the Alice Springs Cup Carnival and lead-up meetings being run on Saturdays. We have 2 Fridays per month over the next 3 months, plus a Thursday on Anzac Day in April. It is also the 3rd meeting in successive weeks here in the Top End, and the 5 races have attracted some 40 acceptors. The first on the card is the Class 2 1200, which gets underway at 2:49 p.m. The last of the 5 is timed to jump at 5:10. In the first, the Mindle Beach Casino Resort Handicap, my numbers are 5, 6 and 1. Going here with number 5, Sissel Pine from the very much informed stable of Ella Clark. Wasn't it great to see Ella with her biggest career win just a week ago with Pop Magic taking out the wet season final. It was a great performance and she's doing a super job with just a handful of horses as young Ella. Dylan Stanley visits from Alice Springs for a couple of rides. He takes the mount here. He'll claim 2.5 kilos down to his minimum riding weight of 55. And Sissel Pine's had the 2 starts back this campaign, so 3rd up here. Last start was good, a 3rd on that occasion behind Barty Ayer. That was on the 13th of January, so Ella hasn't rushed Sissel Pine back into action, and I think she'll take, he will rather take plenty of beating the 5-year-old gelding by Toronado. So 5 on top. To beat the inform and very consistent Queen in the North, number 6 from the Tommy Logan stable. Sonia, of course, in the saddle. 3 seconds at her last 3 starts. She's really knocking on the door and gets another really good chance here. And in for 3rd, number 1, Sharatera, consistent type, trained by Phil Cole. Wayne Davis in the saddle this week, goes from barrier 4, and a last start 3rd to Wilson's Prom here on the 30th of December was good. So my numbers in the first are 5, 6 and 1. We go to the second. It's the Great Northern Trobus 3 and 4-year-old Class 2 handicap. It's over the 1,200 metres. Only a field of half a dozen to go around here, but nonetheless, some good prospects amongst them. My numbers here are 2, 3 and 4. Number 2 is the resuming Star Spangled Dancer from the stable of Gary Clark. Jared Todd aboard this week. She's drawn the outside of the 6, but on her day she's a pretty smart mare, is Star Spangled Dancer. She won 2 during the carnival, but she's had a good break. She hasn't raced since the 21st of October. By all accounts doing everything right. So with all things being equal, and she does everything right at the start, she can on the odd occasion be a little funny at the gates. If she does everything right, I think she'll take plenty of beating. Number 2, ahead of 3, Witten. Phil Cole trains, Emma Lyons rides, claims the 2 kilos. Was a winner here 2 starts back. That was on the 30th of December. That was in maiden and 3-year-old Class 2 grade. Then failed last time out behind Barty Ayer, but prepared to allow Witten another chance. And in for 3rd, number 4, a newcomer to Darwin, Erroneous, from the stable of Tom Logan. Sonia takes the mount here. Had a couple of placings in Queensland from only a handful of starts. An interesting runner here, and it's a son of Better Than Ready, and the Better Than Ready's handle this track pretty well in my experience. So numbers in the second are 2, 3 and 4. We go to the 3rd. It's the Cup Carnival tickets on sale. 12th of February handicap, so it'll come around pretty quickly, as you know. Not far away till the Darwin Cup Carnival. Obviously, prior to that, of course, we have the big time in the Red Centre with their Cup Carnival in the months of March and April. My numbers in this 1,200 metres for the 0 to 70 gallopers are 2, 1 and 5. Bond's Pride for me, looking for 3 in a row from the stable of Jason Manning, and Vanessa Arnott goes back aboard. Looks a promising type, this one, bought out of the Tried Horse sale held here at Cup time last year. It's only had the 4 starts in Darwin, 2 wins, a 2nd and a 4th. It's won its last 2, bolted in 2 starts back, and then a good workmanlike effort, I thought, last time out on a wet track here on the 13th of January. Certainly up in grade here. That was a Class 2. This is a 0 to 70, so we'll have to be on its game, but I think a horse with a future, and I've got it on top, number 2, Bond's Pride. Head of 1, Vernavalu, the old 8-year-old, trained by Phil Cole, Emma Lyons aboard. He's racing well. He's just had a couple of starts back this campaign. His last start 3rd behind Volator was really good, and this is a race that he's in right up to his ears. And then for 3rd, number 5, Bell's Banner, another one with a good record and a good run last time out for Gary Clark and Jared Todd. Finished 4th on that occasion. That was on Australia Day behind Noir de Rue and only beaten less than a length. So don't leave Bell's Banner out of your calculations. Numbers in the 3rd are 2, 1 and 5. We go to the feature of the day, the Ladbrokes Summer Sprint Series handicap. This heat 5 of the Summer Sprint Series, sponsored by Ladbrokes. A 0 to 76 over the 1100 metres and a field of half a dozen to go around here. A lot of speed in this race. They'll go pretty hard, and my numbers are 3, 5 and 2. Al Magnificence deserves to win a race. He's finished second at his last 3 starts for the Phil Cole stable. Emma Lyons, of course, takes them out, claims the 2 kilos here, brings him in at a nice weight of 56.5, and he only has to repeat his recent efforts of seconds behind Rising Sphere, Tub Thumper and Volator to take plenty of beating here. I've got him on top from a handy barrier, barrier 3, number 3, Al Magnificence. To beat a newcomer to Darwin, number 5, Mr. Have a Chat, from the stable of Chris Nash. This horse is a 5-race winner from 34 in Adelaide. He hasn't been in the top end long. Jade Hampson claims 1.5 kilos here. Jade's claim changed after her double last week, so she's ridden 50 provincial winners now, so down from the 2 kilos to the 1.5 kilos, and her minimum riding weight is 54, so this horse will go around on the minimum of 54. That brings him right into it, and of course he jumps from barrier 1 here, so keep an eye on the newcomer, Mr. Have a Chat. And then for third, number 2, Canton Kid, the track record holder here for the 1200 metres. Paul Shire's aboard. He's resuming for the Gary Lafoe stable. He won his last 2 here during Carnival. Hasn't had a run since Darwin Cup Day, but he's very, very smart on his day. So in the fourth, my numbers are 3, 5 and 2. And the last is the 1600 metres for the 0 to 64 gallopers. It's the Remembering Ken Rogerson handicap. We lost Kenny just a couple of weeks ago, one of the great iconic trainers of the Northern Territory, based in Alice Springs for many, many years, and deepest condolences to his partner Carol and all his many friends. Numbers in the last, the 8, 3 and 9. Going here with number 8, Fisher. Won here last week over this trip, and that was in Class 2 company. This is 0 to 64, similar sort of field that he meets. Fisher did a good job last week. I thought I was a bit worried across the top when he looked to be struggling, but he was certainly very strong through the line. He won by a margin, over 5 lengths. Jade Hampson aboard again. Jade with that double last week, she's in good form, and I've got Fisher on top. No reason to suggest he can't go back to back. In for second, a stablemate of Fisher in number 3, Kipax, trained by Tayan Holter, of course. Paul Shire's aboard. He's second up and getting out to a trip that will suit him, this 1600 metres. And my third selection is number 9, Hazelwood. Still a maiden. Gary Clark trains, only had the 3 starts, but was second at Warrnambool at its last start. Jared Todd aboard. Didn't run last week, was in and was scratched due to a lack of rider. So keep an eye on Hazelwood. A little bit of confidence around that maiden in the last. Numbers in that 5th event are 8, 3 and 9. Best bet on the day in race 3. It's a step up in grade, but I think you can do it. Race 3, number 2, Bond's Pride. Race 3, number 2, Bond's Pride. Well, the best roughie in the first. It hasn't had a lot of luck in his couple of runs. Race 1, number 7, the Stiffmeister. Race 1, number 7, the Stiffmeister. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk. We'll be back in a fortnight's time for our second Friday meeting, of February, and that will be Friday the 23rd of February. And until then, good luck and good punting.